Complacency, a safety meeting brought to you by weeklysafety.com. Welcome, and thank you for joining today's safety meeting. Our focus is complacency on the job, what it is, why it sneaks up on even the most experienced team members, and the practical steps each of us can take to keep complacency from turning into an injury or a near miss. Complacency often shows up when workers take shortcuts that are risky, work below their usual standard, become mentally distracted, or work on autopilot because they believe experience makes them invincible. Boredom, a false sense of security, or the feeling that a job has become routine can all feed this mindset. When we assume a task is too familiar to hurt us, we stop paying attention to the very steps that keep us safe. The danger is real. Complacency frequently leads to injuries and incidents, yet we often fail to notice how deeply it has crept into our workday until someone has a close call or worse, gets hurt. Recognizing complacency early is critical because most of us perform at least some tasks repeatedly day after day. Let's talk about the critical errors that can happen when complacency takes over. Eyes lose focus while hands and feet move on autopilot. Minds wander away from the immediate task, raising the chance of stepping into the line of fire or walking in front of moving equipment. Operators may come perilously close to objects or coworkers. A simple loss of balance or grip can escalate into caught in, struck by, or fall incidents. Any of these errors can turn a routine shift into an emergency in seconds. Fortunately, complacency announces itself through warning signs. Watch for disengagement or disinterest, sudden attitude changes, a rise in shortcuts or mistakes, loss of initiative, neglected tasks, carelessness, distractions, risky behavior, or missing personal protective equipment. An uptick in negative safety culture, lack of accountability, frequent close calls, or tardiness for meetings or shifts are all red flags that complacency is building. Everyone on the team has a role in preventing complacency, and we can break that responsibility into 3 areas: our actions, our personal behavior, and speaking up when needed. First, take hazards seriously. Understand the real risks tied to your specific activities and the consequences of unsafe behavior. Second, pay attention and participate fully in safety meetings like this one. Third, follow all safety policies and work procedures, even the ones that seem tedious. Resist the urge to rush, skip steps, or multitask when focus should stay on a single critical task. Never delegate work to someone who lacks training or qualifications. If a job hazard analysis or another pre-work assessment is required, complete it thoroughly. Each project has its own unique risks that must be identified before a single tool is used. Participate in hazard reporting, and if you can correct an issue immediately, do it. When inspections on tools or equipment are due, perform them carefully and thoroughly. If a checklist exists, use it. If you need one, ask for it, or create it. Self-awareness is another powerful defense. If you feel complacency creeping in, pause and audit your process step by step to confirm you are not skipping any precautions. Observe how coworkers integrate safety into their routines. Their good habits can sharpen your own. If you catch yourself taking shortcuts, telling yourself, "I've always done it this way," stop and hold yourself accountable to following the safer method. Choose to make safety a habit by repeating the safest process until it becomes second nature. Remember that your example matters. When others see you taking every step seriously, they feel comfortable doing the same. Staying present is essential. When you notice your mind drifting during a task, take a moment to ground yourself. Stretch, refocus your eyes, or run through a mental checklist. Never accept "we've always done it this way" as a reason to continue behavior that puts anyone at risk. A healthy safety culture depends on open conversation. If you believe a procedure is unnecessary, don't just skip it. Talk with your supervisor or bring it up at the next safety meeting. Maybe there's a way to streamline the task without sacrificing safety, but that discussion must happen before anyone decides to abandon a step. Likewise, if production deadlines, missing PPE, equipment malfunctions, unsafe signs, or unreasonable expectations are pushing people to cut corners, raise the issue immediately so it can be fixed. Experienced workers should keep an eye on newer team members. When you notice them taking shortcuts, remind them firmly but positively why each safety step matters. If morale seems to be slipping across the whole team, speak up and suggest ways to re-energize everyone's commitment to safety. Offer ideas for future safety meetings or toolbox talks, and most importantly, if you are ever unsure of the safest way to complete a task, ask. Questions are far cheaper than injuries. Before we wrap up, let's review the essentials. Complacency grows when tasks feel routine and risk feels distant. It manifests in shortcuts, drifting attention, and declining engagement. It breeds critical errors from wandering thoughts to loss of balance, raising the odds of caught in, struck by, or fall events. We fight complacency by staying alert to its signs, taking hazards seriously, following procedures without exception, completing hazard analysis and inspections, practicing self-awareness, and fostering a culture where everyone feels empowered to speak up about safety concerns. Each of us, through our daily actions and our willingness to challenge the easy path, keeps the entire team safe. Thank you for committing to recognize and eliminate complacency on every job every day. And thank you for watching this safety meeting. We appreciate your time and your dedication to a safer workplace.